right. Hey, good morning, everyone. Well, I guess it's afternoon, technically. Good afternoon. I'm Russ McCann, and this is your weekly focus. And so wherever you are, I guess if you're in Hawaii, it's still morning. I'm here in Northern California, just outside of Sacramento, in a little town called El Dorado Hills. And anyway, I made a decision a couple of weeks back to come live every Tuesday at 12 noon. And I went live a couple of weeks ago, and I started, the name of the live was What the Heck is Going On, right? And by the way, if you're with me live tonight or today, it's interactive, and you can drop a comment in the chat. Let me know where you're coming in from. And hang in there, because we're going to talk a little bit about staying focused, creating some great goals, getting into action, but we kind of want to warm everybody up first. So if you can, go ahead and put in the comments. We are broadcasting live in both Facebook and YouTube, and we're super glad you're here. We have had, I think, in my past lives, I've had people come in from South Africa. So definitely an international audience. So good morning, Sharon. I decided every Tuesday at noon to go live. So the first title was, Live with Russ McCann. And then I thought, well, that might be a little self-serving. So then I changed it to What the Heck is Going On? And I thought that was actually a little bit too casual, because what I want to do is every Tuesday at noon, come on live and really help people focus on creating the life that they want. And for those of you that may not know my background, I spent 35 years in the restaurant business. I love to eat, and I love, good wine and all that kind of thing, being here in Northern California. But I ended up working as a vice president for a Fortune 100 food distribution company. And back in 2007, I went on this health journey, and I lost 85 pounds in 19 weeks. And I began to get myself healthy. I began to focus on me for a change rather than everybody else. And so that led to me coming home and working. I left my corporate job back in 2009, in April of 2009. And I've been working at home, helping people all over the country do two things. One, focus on their own health. And two, help them develop a business strategy that they can actually work from home, doing the things that they enjoy the most. And we're going to talk a little bit about your weekly focus. No matter what industry you're in, whether you're in real estate, whether you're in finance, whether you're a health coach, whether you're, doing labor and you're an electrician or whatever it is, there's going to be value for you. And so our weekly focus is going to be centered around doing just that. So for those of you that are watching live over on Facebook or over in YouTube, make sure that you drop a comment in the chat so that we can interact. So this is going to be a give and take kind of thing. I need feedback. So all the feedback that I can get will be great. So anyway, we're also trying out some new tools last week. Don't tell Denise, but last week I ordered a new camera, like I needed another camera, right? And so I've actually got two cameras going. So I've got, this camera, which is my Sony ZV-10. And so the new camera that I got, by the way, this new camera is going to change the way people do video from their laptop. So this particular camera is an OBS bot, tiny 4K camera, and it has some really cool features. And we'll do that maybe next week. We'll talk about the features of that camera because it's really cool. I was on a live yesterday, and somebody had just gotten one, and they were trying it out, and I was showing them how to use it. And right in the middle of the broadcast, the thing started zooming in automatically. So a lot of really cool automation. So anyway, beyond that, what I wanted to talk about today in our weekly focus, so set your calendar, noon on Tuesday, come and join me. And I started thinking about all the quotes that live on the internet around the word focus. And probably the most famous person dealing with focus and organizing your life around what matters most to you is Tony Robbins, right? Wouldn't you agree? Tony Robbins has a lot of, if you just type the word in Google, focus, Tony Robbins, you're going to see I don't know, maybe 40 or 50 quotes. And this is one that I brought up yesterday, and that was, your life is controlled by what you focus on. And really think about that. If you focus on building a house and you're putting all of your energy and attention into building that house, guess what? Your life gets consumed by the building of that house. And guess at the end of it, you have this beautiful house, right? And I love the analogy of this picture. So the gal that's a photographer, when you look at, just with your naked eye, you see a lot. But when you look through the lens of a camera and you focus on a specific spot in the landscape, you're zeroing in on something very, very specific. And that's where your eye goes. That's where your energy goes. And when you take a picture, that's the picture that you create. And so a lot of times our life is really out of focus because we've got too many choices. We've got too many things going on. We're just too busy and we're not focusing on any one thing. And so what happens is we become the master of none, right? Because we're not focusing on the one thing that we need to do today to accomplish our goal. So as I was looking at all these quotes, here's a couple of more that I wanted to share. One is, focus on the solution, not the problem. All right. This is from Jim Rohn. I love Jim because he's really clear about really dialing in on creating the things that you want. And so when you focus on the solution and not the problem, you're more apt to solve the problem itself because you focused on the solution, not the problem. I like to look at it this way, is if you are trying to solve a problem, you're trying to fix something, right? So if you're struggling with weight, you're overweight, you go to the doctor says you need to lose weight, you need to exercise, you need to eat differently. And all of a sudden we've got this problem and we go in problem solving mode. We go on a diet, we go to the gym and we do all this to resolve it. Maybe short term we can resolve it, but it never becomes long term because we're in problem solving mode. But when we focus on creating what it is we want, then we create the life that we desire. So if you think of, a painter, right? You've got this white canvas and you begin painting a picture or begin painting a landscape, you're creating. And when we start using the creation part of our brain, Sharon, it becomes more long-term because we're creating something, right? So if you were literally building something in the garage, you got your tools and you brought the wood and you got the nails and you create something. When it's all done, aren't you proud of what you created? Right, Chris? So when you create something, you're really proud of it. When you're proud of it, you want to keep it nice. You want to make it last. You want to show it to everybody because you created it, right? The same thing happens in the kitchen, right? If you go and buy something on DoorDash, right, and it gets delivered, first of all, it's probably not healthy and it comes in a bag. And when it comes in a bag, it's probably never good. And you know what? You're not really proud. You're just eating the slop that's in the bag. But when you take the time to create a fabulous, healthy meal that tastes amazing, you're proud of it, right? You love it. You enjoy it. You can't wait to share it with other people because you've created the masterpiece. And so like Tony Robbins and Jim Rohn really focus on is if we focus on solving problems, what we're typically going to get is a short-term relief, but you know what? We're going to have more problems because the problems just keep coming. But when we set aside those problems and we focus on creating what it is we want, this becomes more permanent. So here's another great quote. So let me move through this one. Always remember your focus determines your reality, right? So the analogy that I like is, I spent, like I said, 35 years in the restaurant industry. I worked hard. I worked long hours. It was a little fun, but it was really hard. And I didn't get paid very much at the very beginning because I was giving my employer everything I had. I was focusing all my energy on running this restaurant that somebody else owned, that somebody else benefited from. And so my focus towards their goals and dreams created their goals and dreams and create their reality, but not mine. I hated the fact that at the end of the day, I didn't have a lot to show for it, right? So think about it this way, that when you are focusing on creating something that will change your life and or the lives of others, and you're super passionate about it and you focus your energy on it, that passion becomes everything who you are. That becomes your reality. And so when you spend energy focusing on the things that matter most to you, then you're going to have the things that matter most to you become real, right? Because you've focused on it. There's a lot of quotes around focus. I think it says where your focus goes, energy flows, right? So if you're struggling in relationships, or you're struggling with your health, or you're struggling with your career, or life has dealt you a set of cards that gives you a bunch of ones and twos and not too many aces, it's probably because most of the energy that you've put into that life or that health aspect is not serving you. So when you focus on creating what it is you want and around the things that matter most to you, there is nothing stopping you. There is nothing that will keep you away from creating the life that you want. I can share with you over the last 16 years, when I finally came home, it was a little scary. Being an entrepreneur and starting a business that you can operate from home. There's plenty of people that work from home, and that's great. At least you got out of the car, right? At least you didn't have to go commute. At least you had something to do that, you could walk down the hallway to do. But there's so many people still that work from home that are working for the man. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think if that's the way you're wired, maybe for a short time you need that security because somebody is paying you for the time you're investing. And even though you're at home, you're investing that time in somebody else's dreams and goals. So when I decided to come home and build a business that I could do from home as a health coach, I had no idea whether or not I was going to be successful, but I knew I loved helping people. I knew that I wanted to focus on my own health. And as I began to focus on helping other people and focusing on my own health and helping other people build their dreams, and guess what? I created a dream of my own that's become reality. Who is it? Zig Ziglar says that if you want to create, let's see, I don't know exactly how the quote goes, but I know it basically means that you help other people get what they want, then you'll get what you want, right? Too many people put that in reverse and they focus on what they want. They forget about all the people around them. And guess what? They're alone and they probably don't reach their goal because they're doing it by themselves. You are going to be more successful if you surround yourself with other like-minded people in your industry or in your church community or in your health community. If you're going to the gym and you're surrounding yourself with other people that are focused on health, what's happened? You've changed your focus. And that focus is creating a new reality for you. And so it's been awesome. Yeah, Sharon, you're exactly right. Yeah, that's Zig Ziglar. If you help enough people get what they want, then ultimately you get what you want. And the reason being is because you're focused on the service of others. And so anyway, I wanted to just kind of talk a little bit about that this morning because, or guess this afternoon, because this is such an important topic. About focusing on what it is you want. Now, as most of you know, I help people recapture their life as it relates to their health. And I work in personal development and personal growth. I help people discover what's possible for them in both healthy body, healthy mind, and healthy finances. And I've helped people create a business that they can do from home with meaning and purpose. So that's kind of what my passion has been. But I'm also passionate about helping people become the best version of themselves. Now, I certainly believe that God is the dominant force in the universe. That's my belief. I'm sure others have different beliefs, but I still feel that you can become an amazing force in your own life when you focus on the things that matter most to you and put some energy behind it. So again, just having a goal doesn't get you there. Having a plan doesn't get you there. Having focused energy and action that's moving you towards that goal and moving you towards that dream will help you achieve it. But again, a goal can be just a wish if you don't get it into action. And so when I help people try to really focus on what their goals are with their health, we start a conversation centered around, Well, tell me more about what it is you've struggled with. Tell me what your problems have been. What's been your biggest challenge? What are you trying to create? What would it mean to you if you could get to your ideal healthy weight, become physically fit, surround yourself with other people that are participating in life rather than being a spectator? What would that mean to you? Because at the end of the day, the only thing that matters is what's going on up here, because your thoughts are going to control the actions. The thoughts are going to control the behavior. And if you have stinking thinking, you're probably going to get stinking results. If you are surrounded in your brain with all of these negative thoughts, fears, failures, people have wronged you, they're out to get you, and you're playing in this victim mindset, then guess what? You're going to be the victim for a while until you get out of that mindset. And you know what? There are things you can control when things are totally out of control. There are. You might not be able to control what your spouse does, how your kids behave, although as parents, we'd like to think that we do, right? We can't necessarily control what our boss does. If we get laid off from our job, sometimes a catastrophic storm will come in and that'll disrupt your surroundings, right? We can't control those things, but we can control how we respond to them. And we can control the focus that we've set for ourselves. And even for a short time, we might get a little sideways. But if we come back to our focus, we put some energy back behind it, and we get into action, there is nothing that's going to keep you from reaching your ultimate goals and dreams. So anyway, so that's kind of been my message for today, is really think about what it is you're focused on. What is it you're passionate about? What is it you would like to create? And then feel free to reach out. I'd love to have this discussion centered around kind of clarifying what it is you want to try to create. And whether it's a career goal or a relationship goal, or you want to improve your health, you're looking for support and maybe need a meal plan, or maybe just need somebody to bounce an idea off of. That's kind of what I do. That's my jam, and I love it. I love helping people. So anyway, just set your calendar every Tuesday at 12 noon. We're not going to, draw this out for an hour long, chat, but I would love for you to come and join me every Tuesday. We're going to have a different focus. This video, Sharon, this video is in YouTube. And as soon as I hit the end button, it'll be streamed over there live in YouTube. You can watch it and replay it. You can even share it with somebody. So everybody's going to share it with their husband or their spouse, right? So you need to listen to this because we're not very focused, right? So, and it's also over on Facebook on my personal timeline, but probably go to the YouTube channel, Russ McCann or Russell McCann, and you can find it over there. And I know, Sharon, you're watching over in YouTube, so that's great. So with that, stay really focused on your goals and dreams. Join me next Tuesday as we really work on this whole concept about getting into action and what does that look like for you. And so until then, you guys have an amazing week. And remember, organize your life around the things that matter most to you, because the only person that can change the way life is happening to you is to let life happen through you and organize your life around what really matters most to you. So we'll see you next week. All right. Have a great week.